gives you a combined total score of 54 out of 60. That means Dan and Steph, you are the My Kitchen Rules champions.
We've won My Kitchen Rules.
Order in, one Benny, one eggs on toast, poached and bacon on the side. Let's go.
Welcome to the Dan and Steph Porkcast. All thanks to Sun Pork.
Okay, we're back. Porkcast, Dan and Steph.
What number's this?
5, I think. I just love being in this little studio room with you. It's good times.
Yeah, good fun.
I get to
we don't spend enough time together. Now we just can't escape each other anymore.
I know, but this is a little room that we get to lock ourselves into and talk everything that we do and, you know, our life. So you've just escaped Eat to come and do podcasts.
But backtrack. I've just escaped Eat, but I've had Father's Day brekkie at school today.
You have.
And I managed to win a lucky door prize too.
Aww.
But I also managed to embarrass Emmy too. She got to spin the wheel.
Oh, stop.
And then when she spun the wheel, I said, "Go, Emmy!" And then she went,
like she does.
Oh, yeah. So,
you are really starting to embarrass her a lot.
She's got no idea, mate, what she's in for.
She loves it. She hates it.
Hates it. Yeah.
Daddy, don't beat the horn at me. It scares her. So your Father's Day brekkie, what'd you win?
I won a very cheap bath gel and moisturiser with a little shower puffy thing.
Okay, so we on-gift that one. That's very good. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, on gift.
On gift that one. Okay.
Your dad.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah,
we won't tell him about that one. Dad will love that. Oh gosh. So it's been a bit of a week.
Busy week.
Yeah.
We're sort of
kind of getting our groove back again. Still from Bacon Fest.
Yeah, still feeling the effects of Bacon Fest. But we picked up an exciting catering function at Eat for the Glendine kids' graduation. So I'm excited for that one. There's a guy I go to the gym with in the mornings, and he approached me the other day asking if I knew, because they've had their previous caterer cancel on them because the numbers dropped. And he came up to me and said, "Do I know anyone?" And obviously the Glendine kids, you know, that they've come from different upbringings, and you know, there's kids there with special needs, all that sort of stuff. It's a special school that do great things for these kids, and for them not to have a graduation, I couldn't have that. So I said, you know what, mate, I'll do it. 100%. Like, regardless of the price, regardless of what your budget is, we'll do it because I want to make this happen for these kids. So
they deserve a graduation and celebration. Yeah,
we're going to do it up. Big long table through the restaurant, red carpet. I'm going to block out all the car parks out the front so they can pull in and do the whole, and then we'll get Lisa in so she can do some photography for them and just let them enjoy their night. It's 5 to 8. Like, it's not going to be a raging night. Like, these are school kids, so I'm excited to do that. That was short notice, but I love that sort of thing.
You do.
It's my job now
to come up with the menu
and then pump out this amazing meal for 25 people.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that one.
We're super excited and very proud to do that. Absolutely. So it's even just being at Eat every day. So, you know, it's a juggle. You leave early in the morning. I get Emmy off to school. You do Eat.
It's all about being organised, and that's you are so structured. Like, it's unbelievable. And I like to be, even though I might not be structured, I like to be structured.
You're the most structured person I know.
I just think it's being prepared for everything, you know, like having that routine every morning that we do. Like the washing goes on the same time, it goes out the same time. You know, meals ready for dinner. Like, we got dinner ready, you know, Emmy's routine as well. It's just having that routine and structure, I think, that works for us. And
absolutely. And I think us being prepared in the morning for dinner, that's always been our kind of routine for a very long time, because whatever the day throws at you, you know that you don't have to come and whip dinner up and get all stressed at the end of the day.
You're not spending an hour cooking, cleaning,
or even thinking about what you're going to have.
It literally goes in the microwave or the oven.
Look, our friends take the mickey out of us a lot in regards to we cook in advance. Like, so tonight's dinner's already done. Tomorrow night's dinner's pretty much prepped.
I'd hate to break it to you because of content day. So Thursday's my content day at home, where I do recipe development for Sun Pork, Sweet Potato Australia, Eat.
We do take our turns, don't we? Today's we help each other.
And it's lovely to have a day at home alone as well. Like, I appreciate that. Yeah, so like even though I'm at home, I've got the footy channel on.
Got sports bet open.
I've just got the sports bet going 100%. You know me too well. So I've got
Thursday, mate.
So I'm just going to break it to you. The wings for Father's Day dinner are marinating as we speak.
That was my job.
So
Father's Day.
when I get home from this, I'll do some content. We got some beautiful Korean pork belly we're doing today. I'm looking forward to that.
We got inspired by the Korean pork belly dishes from a show on Netflix.
Yeah, pork belly rhapsody or something it's called. Yeah, it was really
so
cool.
good.
So, and then I noticed we're having cheese tomorrow, Friday night dinner. So a little bit of camembert and a little bit of blue. So
have you already done the cheese
that'll
platter?
That'll be sorted.
Oh,
so that'll be sorted. And then Saturday night's pizza night. At
how
home.
lucky am
so
I?
that'll be sorted as well.
Okay.
So you can pre-make a pizza. All you got to do is chuck it in the oven.
Look, I'm not going to lie. You today at home by yourself, footy channel on, sports bet open. You're in your element, aren't you?
Oh, it's good for the brain too.
Yeah.
And it's good to be able to step away from eat and sort of do stuff at my own pace, not be working. Like with eat, there's no escaping it. You can't stop.
No.
You know, like there's constant. It's so busy, that restaurant.
Yeah.
It is unbelievably busy.
And it's amazing, but it's like we're not there just to fluff around, and we're actually there serving people, talking to people, cooking people's food and making people's coffees.
And I think sometimes customers forget that. Customers come in and see us as Dan and Steph that are on TV. But our staff members see us as Dan and Steph, that I need Dan or Steph here beside me because this place is busy. They need me as a worker. It's a hard balance to find. You could be so busy and you know there's people dying to talk to you, but you just, like for instance, I cannot leave that coffee machine. It's really hard, but you got to find that balance because at the end of the day, people are coming in there to see us. And I was speaking to a lady yesterday and she's like, "Oh, you're here. You're here."
Well, yeah. It's like we live here, but we're here all the time.
No, it's like she didn't expect me to be there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like, oh.
Oh.
But no, this is what we do. This is been here 9 years.
Yep.
So,
and we are a part of the team. We are there for workers, but we do obviously spend our time talking to customers. Like they come in to see us and dine with us. So
we serve many different purposes at Eat. Like we are staff members as well, because I would rather me do it than have to pay some. Like at the end of the day, wages are important for our business.
Correct.
So you got to find the juggle here of wages, of making sure the customers are happy, making sure you're pulling your weight for the team.
Yeah, and the quality of food.
Just that juggle that sometimes can get to you quite easily.
Yeah.
We've got amazing staff. They come to work and then they go, like, I come to work, like, my life is work. You know what I mean? When
I
they
know.
So it's just, it is full on.
It's been a big week, like doing the juggle. And like we're parents as well, but we're individuals, but we're partners. Like we always try to find a balance in our life.
Yeah.
Eat is a huge part of our life. We're there. You're there every day. We're doing a shuffle around today.
I'm even Father's Day.
Are you? No, you're not.
I have to be.
Really?
Yeah. There's no ifs or buts about it. So
okay.
I won't be all day. It'll be a mad rush in the morning, and then I'll get out of there.
Okay.
And staff know that, and they're good. They'll try and get me in and get me out as quick as they can, which I appreciate. And I'm not complaining. Like it's going to be busy day, and it's going to be a great day for us.
Yeah.
So I just got to do it.
And a special day for other fathers, but we'll celebrate you after you've done a shift at Eat on Father's Day. You poor thing. Obviously, we've done Eat this week, and we've also been working on our next series of our TV show, which is exciting. So Series 2 of Travel and Eat with Dan and Steph is over the line. We start production in 2.5 weeks' time. So we're doing 3 series and it goes to air in December. So I'm excited for that. Obviously, with work-life balance, we were able to catch up with our friends for Taco Tuesday again. We got the band back together.
Yeah, that's right. And that spiraled out of control real quick, didn't it? So we had to go designate. You had to put your hand up for designated driver for that because right at the end of our lunch, some crazy fella come out and shouted the whole table like high-end tequila shots.
But we're just there for lunch.
None of us drink it, and he wouldn't have no for an answer.
Yeah.
I think Scotty chucked his over his shoulder.
Yeah. Anyway, it was good to catch up with our friends. Absolutely. Taco Tuesdays, we have a good lunch and a catch up.
But we also we've got a lotto pool as well, don't we? So we all.
Do you know what? We've
won every week.
Every week. We use the same numbers every week, and we've won every week last month in August.
It cost us $50 $50 and we get like $19 back.
Yeah. Oh, look,
Good investment.
slow and steady. One day it'll win. That's for sure.
Yeah.
What else has happened this week?
Not much.
You know what? No. We have the van, our food van, Street. We were able to secure a shed, thankfully. It's not in the backyard anymore.
No, so we've got storage now, which is great.
So we'll be able to organise ourselves to get Street sorted. And we have our first wedding in about 4 weeks' time with some great friends of ours. So we can't wait to nut that out. Very exciting. Big job ahead. Was about 150 people, so we're excited for that. So
yeah, easy.
Yeah.
You know, I woke up this morning and I was so bloody excited.
Why?
Because we're actually going to speak to Alice today. Is Dad going to be with him?
I'm not sure.
But
we got her number.
Yeah, we get to speak to Alice. I want to see what she took out of the show and how if she sees it the same as us. So you know what? Dial those digits, baby. Let's give her a call.
Dial her in. Okay. We emailed Janelle and Mons last night.
Emailed?
I messaged them on Instagram.
Yeah, that's another thing. They got separate accounts.
Yeah, I know.
What's going on there?
You reckon 50-50 each?
Splitsville. You get 50, I'll get 50.
All right, let's call Alice. You nervous?
A little bit.
She's not even going to answer. She's probably busy at the cafe.
Hi, you phoned Alice Bottomley. Please leave a number and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Hey, Alice.
Hey, Alice.
It's Dan and Steph.
Hey.
Just recording the podcast.
You got no idea how nervous I was making this call, Alice, and now it's gone to message me.
All right, we'll try again soon.
See you, mate.
Walkies. All right, maybe we should just ring the cafe, Run Rabbit Run.
No.
She's probably there deep
I
in
couldn't
coffee
think of
orders.
anything worse.
What's that?
Like people ringing the work phone to have a chat to you.
Well, that's what she said. Everyone's been calling the
it happens
cafe.
at Eat
Bless her
still.
soul. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we'll just try and ring her again. Maybe she's nervous. She's so funny. She's so witty.
Oh, my God, hello.
Alice! Oh, my God, how cool.
We left you a voice message.
Yes, I heard that. I'm so sorry. I was just standing in the car park and I was like, oh, my God, Dad, get into the office, get into the office.
You're so funny.
Oh, cool.
Hello.
How are you?
Really good.
Oh, so good. You know what? I woke up this morning. I was so bloody excited today to be able to talk to you.
Oh,
Mate, no, like,
you guys
honestly,
are the sweetest.
I wish you got more, and I still honestly believe that you deserve to be in that top four. Hey, so devastated. And then to see the prawns and the yogurt, I believe, oh, mate, I know. Alice would be sitting there going, are you serious?
Yeah, look, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, we can't do much about it. It's done now. We're obviously very disappointed that we didn't get to go through because it was such a short season.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to cook more than once.
Yes.
Twice, sorry.
Hey, Pete there?
Hi, how you going?
Good, mate. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you very well.
Mate, it's absolute pleasure to talk. Yeah, and likewise, mate. Like, we're massive fans from the start. As soon as we seen you, and to straight up start the instant restaurants, and I was saying to Steph, I could tell like you guys were in the zone with all your PC containers on the bench, all stacked up, labelled. I thought these guys are on here.
Still didn't help us though.
Isn't it funny we talk about the if production had let you just call them beef cheek croquettes, you would have been sweet.
Absolutely. That was
All those.
That was interesting. You'll probably hear me use the word interesting very often. I substitute the word interesting for something else.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Isn't it funny, all those little production things we learn along the way?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Good times. Well, tell us about your experience, guys.
Yeah.
Like, did you love actually being a part of the MKR family and the journey?
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, we were extremely fortunate with the group that we were put with. It's not often that you throw a group of strangers together and have the connection with most of them like we did.
Yeah.
We're very, very close with Buzz and Arnott, Ashley and Matt, and Janelle and Monzia.
Yeah, lovely.
So that's super special.
Not the old baby shark.
No.
Mate, when I heard her voice last night, I was just going, oh, there we go.
I totally forgot about them, to be honest.
Oh, he dead set did my head in. He was just like the type of bloke you just want to. You want to rattle him.
Sitting there, I was like, I hope production have checked their handbag for a weapon.
Yeah,
Gosh. Serious.
Got the old pat down on the way into the instant restaurant.
Baby shark, do 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 do, baby
I feel as though I was the most unfit and aged security guard ever to live, and made sure I had my body between Alice and Baby Shark at all times.
Oh, wow.
If you notice, production kept us quite far away from each other, so that was nice.
Isn't it funny, like, that you don't see that on the telly? Like, we were part of that Fans and Faves, and I was in a similar position with Ramel and Sophia, and, like, he carried on a bit. I'm a gentle giant, and he's like, he felt... scared to be around me and all that sort of stuff. But you never see that on the telly.
He felt scared to be around you?
Yeah, he felt threatened all the time. And like, it was bizarre. He's an whole nother level, old Ramel. If you're a fan of the show, obviously he's crazy, man. But
he was a paid actor, I think, that time.
Yeah, possibly.
Couldn't cook.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, it's interesting. I've just been up in Turrumbry with Jodie Ann of, Mick and Jodie Ann. They were...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she had the crazy haircut?
They were with... Yeah. So they were in the season with Ramel and Ibby.
Yep.
And she was saying that, Ramel and Ibby paid chefs and paid to have their, they had a stylist and all sorts of things like that. So I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah. They're full on. But Ibby's done very well from...
He has.
Yeah, and we've eaten at his restaurants and they're at next level. Like, they're really, really good. So, yeah, but Ramel used to get paid to tell paparazzi... where we all were. Yeah, full on. And then he sold a story to Woman's Day or something, and it was about our marriage was on the rocks. And then the whole it was based around the whole story was that because I used to go for a run at night time.
Because of a full day of filming and the BS that you deal with all day.
It was just bizarre.
Oh,
So
right.
he was, that was pretty crazy. But have you guys encountered any of that sort of stuff yet? Like
paparazzi and stories?
I don't think anyone sold a story. I think we're pretty much what you see is what you get, so you don't need to sell anything.
I love it.
You just have to ask the question and I'll answer it.
That's it.
I love it. I love the fact that you guys are a part of the MKR family, and like I'm just telling you from experience, like we were 10 years ago, we still talk to the people that we did MKR back in the day.
Yeah.
10 years ago.
It's one of those things, like, and when we catch up with these guys, we don't talk about life and kids, we talk about MKR.
How good was it?
It's one of
those things that unless you're in it, you've got no idea what it's like.
Yeah.
And you can't...
So to have a group of people you can actually dump on about your experience and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know.
Extremely supportive.
100%. Like, there's a very select few that get to do it. So, you're part of a really sort of exclusive sort of group that... I'm guessing it's different sort of a reality TV program to any other in the fact that, the travel, the cooking. Obviously, you guys did a short one, but like how competitive and like just the environment in that kitchen HQ. You're fighting for your life every time you walk in there.
The stress of that, I was absolutely buggered.
Yeah. I thought
it wasn't from the cook.
Yeah.
It was from the stress of
emotional side of it.
Yelling at you.
Yeah. And trying to talk when you're cooking.
I'm trying to talk.
Explain what you're doing to a producer that's like hitting you with 1,000 stupid questions and.
That's exactly. Just fuck off and let me cook my meringue.
Well, that's exactly right.
And then they never showed me cooking the meringue.
No, they didn't.
Suggested that I stood there all day, doing nothing.
Yeah. Because I thought that dessert for you guys, I thought they're home here.
Yeah.
And then Gary gets in and goes, "There's been a murder on my plate," and he goes through. I was like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
Anyway.
Interesting.
Question.
Interesting.
I have a question for you guys. Like when we did it, we had obviously some teams that we connected with as well. Did you have any parties in your hotel room? Like on your random day off?
We did once. We were all so buggered because, as you know, the dinner parties can go anywhere between 16 to 18 hours.
Yes. So I'm glad that hasn't changed.
Yes, it's great.
How good
when
is it?
we got to Margaret River, we all cooked a dish.
Yeah, beautiful.
And we went to Fuzz and Arnott, they were like little villas.
Yeah.
And we all, shared a meal and had some wine and, that was really lovely.
The first night we were back in Sydney for the second filming.
Yeah.
Oh.
We all ended up in Matt and Ashley's room.
How good.
You went home early. You went back to your room early.
Yeah. We all love a wine.
Yeah,
how
good. And is it Meriton still?
No, we stayed at the Oaks Gold Rush.
In Darling Harbour.
Oh, right.
Oh, I think we've stayed there once.
100% do not recommend.
How good? TripAdvisor.
Oh, good times, good times.
Yeah.
The fact that the initial room I had, you couldn't open the front door, I smacked myself in the face because I opened the door to wheel my cases in and the door hit the bed and bounced back.
Oh, no. Oh, my.
How good. We were Meriton and we had this random party. It was like a sad day we had off and
The races were on.
And there was a few of us that didn't mind a punt. Anyway, it got really hectic. We had to replace the carpet.
Got a little bit out of hand.
Yeah. And then
Wow.
they had security come to our room twice, and then we had Jenna and Joe. I don't know if you remember Jenna and Joe. They from South Australia. Jenna has the blonde hair, and she used to always cry a lot. When the security knocked on the second time, she's like doing the whole "Don't you know who we are?" thing. And like, we're 3 months into filming, and there's not even a promo out yet. Yeah, she's giving him the big rundown. God, it was good fun.
Good times. I think that party was standing room only in our little one-bedroom apartment.
Jake and Elle's parents turned up.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it was weird.
Random.
Anyway, good times.
Yeah. So we got a lot of good memories.
I hope you guys did too.
Yeah.
So many wonderful memories.
And it was just an extraordinary experience certainly for me, to share with Alice as well.
Oh, absolutely, Pete. Yeah, for sure.
An amazing dynamic.
Yeah, I thought you were going to do really well from the start because when your first entree in your restaurant went out and then you come back to the kitchen, you managed to sort of get Alice back up again. And that's so...
I mean, I think it was Manu touching me. I'm not going to lie.
How good does he smell?
Very much, but I can't close that one.
How good does he smell? Yeah, honestly.
He smells good, he feels good.
Does he still, when he walks into the room, got to kiss every female?
Yeah, he spent a lot of time insulting me at the instant restaurants about the dessert, but every time he did it, he'd stroke my arm or rub my shoulder.
Yeah, go for your life.
So
mate.
by the end of it, I was like, just keep doing it.
Just keep touching me.
Keep giving me a spray. Is there anything that you took from it that you absolutely was mind-blowing to you guys, like production-wise, like the time, how long it takes to do stuff? Was there anything that absolutely blew your mind, like you're like, wow, this is crazy?
I think it's just the pressure. Obviously we were in the industry, we own a cafe, we're used to high-pressure situations, and at the beginning I was like, oh, yeah, love pressure, this is going to be amazing.
Yeah,
and then
cooking for 12 people, you cook for 100, no drama. Yeah.
That's exactly right. And then you get there and there's a food producer, an actual producer, 3 cameramen,
Sandy hovering around.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
And our kitchen's the size of a shoebox.
Yeah. And it's the talking. It's having to constantly talk to the producer about what you're doing.
Explain what you're doing.
And it's the little things. Like if you put your dessert in the oven and the camera misses it going in the oven,
you've got to do it again.
Open the oven and pull it out and put it back in. So what does that do?
Yeah. It takes the heat straight out of it. Yeah, I know.
The magic of TV. Isn't that fun?
That's exactly right.
I think my dessert actually gave them some great TV. I thought the lifting of the thing by Kate and letting the soup run off the spoon was particularly beautiful.
Yeah. What happened with the dessert? Was it like you thought it was all right, or I was claiming a production turned the oven off?
Yeah,
because we've seen that before.
No, they didn't turn the oven off. There was definitely a push going on behind the scenes of you need to get it out now.
Right.
So you had a deadline.
Because I knew it wasn't cooked, and I said to Dad, it's not cooked. It needs to go back in. But it was you've got to get it out now. You've got to get it out now. They're waiting. And I think had I just stood my ground and said no, it's going back in the oven for 5 minutes.
Different outcome.
And that's all it would have been. That's all it needed was that extra 5 minutes just to pick up the sauce.
Yep.
Yeah, and they could have just waited 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like the amount of waiting around you do in general, like 5 minutes for you to have a decent dessert.
Oh, that's crappy. I'm sorry that happened.
Yeah.
Our instant restaurant was particularly difficult because we were the first one.
Yeah.
And not only were we the first one, but we were the first one for the crew and production team in stopping filming in 2019.
Yeah, so you're the guinea pigs.
Everybody was finding their feet.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So it was sort of like the blind leading the blind.
How good.
And that made it really difficult too.
Yeah.
And the fact that I'm an old man Tuesday in bed by 11 o'clock, and I was actually starting to cook at the third at 1 a.m.
Oh, my.
A challenge.
Yeah.
A challenge.
11 o'clock, Pete. Geez, mate, I'm 7:30.
Dan's at 7:30.
I'm the brekkie shift at Eat, so I'm the early one.
All right, Dan, we'll leave it there and we'll catch up with these guys for the second part next week.
Oh, how good was that, getting to chat to Pete and Alice, getting to find out what their experience was like, finding out little secrets about the off-camera stuff is always good. Nice
to know that some things haven't changed.
Yeah, and it's good to hear that they had the same sort of experience as we did, even though it was very short.
Yeah, absolutely. So this week, the last week of MKR, Sunday night kicked us off with obviously people cooking in to make it to the semi-final. So 3 groups went home that night. Group 1, Ash and Matt, Pete and Alice, Janelle and Mons and Arnott and Fuzz, they all cooked off to see who would get straight through to the semi-final. Look, I'm not going to lie, I feel like some of the food was a little bit... It was
average, man. So average.
But just even the home cook calibre, I think, I don't know, maybe the stress of kitchen headquarters got people.
I seen in the Daily Mail, because that's true.
Yeah.
It's real. That Manu said he feels as though they could have had some better cooks.
Yeah, well... Maybe they could have got better if it went for longer.
Yeah, 100%.
Like
I
agree.
agree.
We didn't start off very good.
We cooked average to start, and then because we cooked that much and got to learn, like a 6-month process, it's like a mini apprenticeship.
Yeah, pretty much.
So... Yeah, I honestly believe that, if they had more time, they would have done a lot better.
All right, well, let's just quickly run over what they cooked. So, Ashley and Matt from WA, they did Sri Lankan fish curry and the apple tartare.
Yeah, and with those two, this is what our kids love. There's no way in the world Emmy would sit down to a Sri Lankan curry and coconut rice.
Oh, yummy.
You know what I mean?
Oh, talking about rice, he's coconut rice. Seriously? What? Anyway, moving on.
That's one thing I'd not attempt to cook at MKR. Because you know what? Us, for instance, at home, you cook it different to me. I do absorption, you boil it and rinse it.
Mine's better.
No, I think mine's better.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Emmy will be the judge of that. She eats that much of it.
They also did the apple tartare and clearly didn't work out for him. I don't really think they knew the process of it. Didn't even give the apple.
They do it all the time. It's their favourite. That's the one with those guys.
Calm down, Dan. It's TV.
Every dish they did.
It's not real.
What the kids love. We do it all the time and nothing worked out.
Oh, mate. Okay, Pete and Alice, they did the brisket bone marrow meatloaf.
Beautiful. I'm going to steal that.
No, Colin wants to steal it too.
But you know what? When you said that, I'm going to steal this. It reminded me of when we did ours. And when we did the smoked carrots in the grand final, they were on his menu at one of his restaurants. And then when he tasted it and critiqued it, he goes, the smoked carrot inspired. I'm like, yeah, watching you,
Maybe
mate.
these were inspired by one of his pubs too.
Possibly.
There you go.
And he'd probably taken the mickey. I'm going to steal this.
Lemon curd roulade. Look, I thought that dessert looked amazing.
For me, I thought that was that got them through.
Oh, 100%. I was like, yep, no, these guys are great. Janelle and Monzir. I can't really pronounce all the Turkish and the Sudanese food, so I'm just going to go. It's a chicken Turkish dish. All their food looks yummy to me, the spices and everything, and they actually do such a great job. And she's very methodical. He's a hard worker. So together as a team, great.
That's another thing I would comment on. So all the other teams walk through and they're shrugging, smugging everyone off.
Behind the scenes,
it'd be production. Producers going, don't talk to them, don't make eye contact.
This is your competition.
Yeah, they would have been firing them all up to, and then old Shay and old mate walk through. I just thought that was hilarious. But then they go up the top, right? So we didn't have up top, did we?
No,
we had
I don't
the
know
little stage.
Mezzanine, yeah.
And then Matt and Katie, he comments on how much clutter's in the kitchen. Mate, do you remember your instant restaurant? Seriously? You could not see a bench. There was shit everywhere, dude. And you're commenting on how messy people's benches are.
Oh, my God.
Mate, you yet to cook too, so it's you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. You just need to shush and magusha sometimes, don't we? And then some Arnott and Fuzz, they did a Fijian chicken pilau with a spiced yogurt, and then they did a semolina milk cake donut type of thing. And again, ugly delicious with them. They even called it. I don't think they've really presented anything nice. No. And good on them for doing their whole traditional stuff and for every other team to do that.
Yeah.
But for 3 teams to leave out of this 4, we were so backing Pete and Alice in this one.
Oh, I thought they had it in the bag. That dessert, I thought the dessert was like, what's not to love about meatloaf? Mashed potato. Like she had those cherry tomatoes.
Yeah, it looked gorgeous.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that roulade, like with the lemon curd and just everything worked.
Yeah, everything worked well. And look, I did think it was going to be close between Pete and Alice and Janelle and Mons, and unfortunately 3 had to go, and so Janelle and Mons went straight through to the semi-final. Yeah, so...
you know, one thing too, geez, Janelle gives Monzia a hard time.
She's a bit rough, isn't she?
Oh, mate. I hope she's not watching it going, oh, am I... Yeah.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Rough.
But it's TV, mate. Okay, so that was Sunday night. Going into Monday night, Group 2 obviously had to cook, and Pete and Alice are the only ones saying hello to everyone that's walked through the door, of course. But do you think, obviously Alice said it's a different kitchen headquarters to we had. It was a similar, different setup, but I feel as though it was the same kind of studio.
We had back-to-back benches. They had benches that were facing towards each other.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so the Group 2, for some reason now Carrie Megan walks in. Is this Master Chef MKR? I'm
is it
so
Master
confused.
Kitchen Rules Chef?
I
mate, I was like...
I don't know.
First Matt Press. I was waiting for George Columbaris to pop his head around the corner.
They still pan his stuff.
Ouch.
Anyway,
Jeez.
Melina and Leanne. Okay, let's talk about the 4 people. Melina and Leanne, they obviously make pasta again. It's like, how many times do you want to make pasta this series? But it looks good. They did a marinara. They knew what they were doing with their seafood, and they did really well in their previous cook. And then they pull out another donut with hazelnut again. Look, I feel as like that went okay. Matt and Katie, though. Let's talk about Matt and Katie. He's using native ingredients, which is fantastic, bush tucker stuff. And now they're combining Indigenous with Italian, and I think that really does work. It's fantastic, and they did a great job, and they did the warrigal greens with gnocchi. When she was plating, she was just taking pine nuts out of a bag and putting them on, and I'm like... why is it toasted? Like, toast it up. Like, there's no love put into that. No. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't think too much about flavour and that. And then he did a finger lime cheesecake. Shall we talk about the cheesecake situation?
Oh.
He put it in the freezer.
Frozen.
It went frozen.
But that's what happens when you put things in the freezer.
And then he puts cheesecake in the oven. And I'm like...
yeah, to defrost it.
I was like, that was mind blown for me.
And like, for me,
I was like, there's no way you're getting
watching it, we know the processes. If he had taken that out of the freezer, I guarantee you it would have been an hour before those judges got to that.
Yeah, would have
softened
up.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I didn't think that they would make it through to the semi-final, to be honest. But then we got Shay and Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a pork fillet with fondant potatoes. Now, elephant in the room again, like the pork was raw.
Yeah.
He didn't get any colour in that.
No.
It was like poached in the oven.
I wonder if they're allowed to use thermometers, because generally I cook with a thermometer, especially when you're trying to get something to a certain temp.
I don't think we had thermometers in MKR. I think we had to go off touch and feel.
Yeah.
And timings, yeah. And then they did a recap of their instant restaurant dessert. That's what I feel like it is.
Exact dessert, wasn't it?
They left the watermelon out of this one.
Yeah, and just had the nuts, the chocolate and the pear.
Yeah.
So they've done their same dessert twice.
I don't know. And they chucked some chili in the chocolate as well. And then, you know what? This last team, Nikki and Jose, I thought they were going to go straight to the semi-final. But seeing them in this cook, this is like your cook to get to the semi-final.
This is it or go home. Yeah.
They fluffed. They did a fish stew that just kind of stewed, and they took it off and they tasted it, and they didn't do much.
Yeah. I honestly believe there's teams there that Manua's been quoted saying that could have been better cooks, but I also believe too that next year I think it'll be better and bigger.
I think so.
Yeah. There'll be a higher standard.
Yeah.
Not that I'm saying it wasn't, don't get me wrong. For home cooks, these guys are great. But also too, there's a lot of people in this season that are in the industry.
Yeah, 100%, like 50% of them.
Yeah.
And so Nikki and Jose finish it off with a Spanish flan. The 3 groups had to go home for this one, and the people that went through was Matt and Katie.
Couldn't believe it.
Crazy. So let's recap. So Matt and Katie's gone through the semi-final. Janelle and Mons have gone to the semi-final. The dinner ladies, who only cooked once from the instant restaurant, meet them up with the semi-final. Same with Mary and Kate from Brisbane. So there's 4 people now in the semi-finals, and some of them only cooked once.
Yeah.
I don't even know who these people are. That's what I like to learn about these people and get to know them more. So moving into the semi-final now.
Just before we go there, I was just sort of looking at what these guys were doing in the lead up to the semi, to get in the semi, to what we were doing and what other teams were doing at the same level.
Our recipes,
yeah,
and
or
our
just
plated
our
food.
plating and everything like that. I'm not bagging it out by any means. I'm putting it down to not having that time.
To
it was 6
evolve.
months, mate. They were lucky to be 6 weeks.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So
Okay, semi-final. Let's just go straight into one team will cook an entree, but then one team will go.
Yep.
I think that was rough.
Yep.
So the dinner ladies started off with a bug risotto with fennel. The Brizzy girls did the beef carpaccio with the blue cheese. I thought that was nice.
Yeah,
Good entree.
I was worried about they used the sirloin, not the eye fillet.
Yeah, they seared it off good.
Yeah, but it's like the guys were saying, that's beefy. Yeah. Sirloin's beefy.
Yeah.
It's all flavour. Whether you feel it's quite light.
Matt and Katie's entree was prawns with ducker river mint and yogurt.
Oh, don't get me started on the river mint. So normal mint now is river mint. Because it looked like it's a normal bunch of mint from Coles, then they're calling it river mint. How about the old Christensen Street mint we got up the road here? Or you know what I mean? Just how's it river mint?
Oh no, I don't know.
To put forward prawns on yogurt in a semi-final, prawns
I know.
on yogurt, and then second guessed his whole cooking of the prawns.
We cooked like 4 before he even plated up. I know where you're getting at.
Yeah.
There needs to be the knowledge of cooking.
Bit more.
And then...
Where I feel as though Alice and Pete had that.
Yeah, their knowledge of cooking. Yeah. Janelle and Mons did a lamb filling dumpling, and I think that was really delightful.
Up until then, I hadn't been too much that people had made that I would love to eat, but seeing those dumplings and how she made the pastry, and then I started watching Mons too. He's the workhorse. He gets the bulk of the crappy stuff done.
You were chop.
His knife skills, mate. He is professional, and just his cooking of the meat all the time. He's so precise, and if he hasn't had any kitchen experience, bloody hats off to him because he's all over it.
He's all over it. So all those entrees, one team went home, and it was Matt and Katie's prawns. Now there's only 3 to get through to the grand final. So I feel as though Matt and Katie's prawns was probably the weakest out of all 4.
Yep.
So now it's time to get on with the mains and desserts. So back to the dinner ladies, they did pork belly, crispy pork belly, parsnip puree. They know how to make a good sauce.
Yes.
Those ladies make a stock, your beef and all the veggies. And they also made a quince tart. And I feel as though these flavour combinations were fantastic.
Yeah, the pork belly main works well with that dessert as well. Mm-hmm. It's not heavy. You've got a heavy pork belly.
They thought about it.
Yeah, and then you've got this very delicate quince and, not over the top rich sort of dessert.
But for me, as a viewer at home on the lounge, I'd be like, I've never really used quince a lot.
they're
I might
painful.
taste that. I know they are. Yeah, we did that.
They're a lot of cooking.
We did that in our semi-final, actually. Quince. But I think the flavour combinations definitely worked. I think the presentation didn't really go for them. Let's move on to the Brizzy girls.
Kate and Mary.
Yeah, duck breast.
The no-looking cooking in a semi-final, ridiculous.
They burnt the stock for the sauce.
As soon as you shut that pressure cooker, it's out of your hands. You can't control anything.
Not when it's screaming heat.
No, and I thought too, you would smell it because you got that steam coming out. You would have smelled that burnt stuff. Yeah,
they probably did, but didn't see that on TV.
But you know what? They rallied and they got a sauce up. And judges loved it, so...
Yeah, they did well. Good cooking of the duck breast. They also did tahini creme brulee, and I like that flavour combination. That's different.
Yeah, they did lose me when they put sesame oil on top of it.
Yeah, like 3 drops of it.
Yeah.
That would have been a bit intense. But again, I liked their flavour combination. They knew the sequence of what they needed to do, and they kind of nailed it for every dish. And I thought, after seeing their main meal, I thought they would win over the dinner ladies. And then Janelle and Mons, so their main was, I think it was lamb backstrap with like a couscous type of situation and eggplant yogurt.
They cook yummy, eh?
They cook yummy stuff.
Yeah, it just screams flavour. It looks flavour.
It does.
The colours and...
They did basil panna cotta strawberry sorbet. That's match made in heaven. Mind blown.
Oh.
Yum. She did those little thin shards.
The meringue.
Unfortunately, the panna cotta was a little bit too soft. Probably 10 more minutes and it would have been great.
But even would have tasted well.
Yum. Yeah. So 2 people had to go to the grand final out of this one. And I definitely feel like the 2 people that went to the grand final, Janelle and Mons, and Kate and Mary from Brisbane.
Let's face it, the dinner ladies don't need 100,000.
No, they've got their own catering gig going on anyway.
Of Sydney.
Yeah, but again, I feel as though it did definitely step up a little bit from the last cook to the semi-final. Yeah, and I love the flavour combination, which got me a little bit excited about the grand final.
Yep.
So, as you know, on the grand final brings back memories and emotions for us.
It choked me up.
But how much pressure there is on the day.
Yeah.
And
it's not about cooking on the day, it's time management.
Yes.
And it's getting everything done.
You just rely on your cooking ability to get you through what you need to do for the day.
That's because we had 48 hours before ours. Isn't it funny too how when we talk about our MKR experience, we never refer to the fans versus phase.
That's void in my
book. 100%.
What?
We always go back to how it was.
Original.
Yeah, 2013. But I remember we had 48 hours before our grand final, between our semi and our grand final, so that was really good for us. But we made a pact that we wouldn't practice all the dishes, little elements here and there we'd have a crack at.
Yeah.
But we had a game plan, didn't we? It was like 4 pages long. After the first
my jobs, timelines.
Need this before that time's out. We need to have done that.
Yeah.
And then after the first day, well, that far in front, weren't we?
Yeah, we were.
It was insane.
And I remember the day, it was the night before the grand final, before we kicked off. I was still practicing my isomalt candy for the dessert, and I failed it 3 times, and I gave up and went to bed. I was so disappointed. I was like, how am I going to try and pull this off in the grand final now when I've tried multiple times?
Isomalt candy was to try and give it that texture of the inside of an aero bar, wasn't it?
No, it was the peppermint crisp.
Yeah, peppermint crisp, that's right. Yeah. So, and that's what you had the peppermint oil and then you had the isomalt and it was piping hot because it was hot sugar.
Yeah, well, and I'm trying to stretch it to make it harder and get it nice and crispy. I remember when I put the isomalt in, because obviously it's a bit like candy where you need sugar and water and you need to boil it. And I don't think I've ever told you, or I didn't even bring it up. I put the peppermint oil in this boiling candy and it burned my eyeballs out because I've just had like peppermint overdose.
Yeah, and the thing, mate, the amount of times I burnt myself and cut myself in that grand final.
Just don't say
nothing because the minute you say something,
you stop.
Yeah, they're pulling you out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
So, mate, I literally, I remember pulling lamb shoulder out of the oven with my bare hands.
I do remember that.
And just like putting it on the bench and then getting slopped with all the hot liquid up my arms. And then like the ambulance lady's on the side there, she's like, "You're right, yeah, I'm good, no, all good, no, didn't burn myself, no."
Get the burn aid tonight, it's fine.
Yeah, like, and literally covered in blisters, but nothing was getting me out of that kitchen.
No, 100% not.
But also too, the memories of walking into the kitchen. Remember when we walked into the kitchen, H quarters, and it was just me and you, and we were looking at our instant restaurant, and it had Decadence with our name, and it was all lit up, and we started crying. But Ricky Pruce come and put his arms around us. Hey, like he's the top dog of MKR.
You're getting teary now.
No, I'm not. He's MKR.
Yeah.
He put his arms around us, and he's just like, "This is it, guys. You know how good's this?" And then we bawled, and he bawled, and I was just so emotional on it because it meant so much to us. So seeing them go back in there and. It was just like, wow, like we did that in a very similar environment.
You know what? Take me back to the grand final anytime. I love that. I thrive on that.
Yeah.
We love pressure cooking, don't we?
Love to. I wonder if they bring back all the previous winners, maybe.
Oh my, that's the best thing. The ultimate of ultimate MKR. Who is the best champion?
Yeah.
Who is it?
I wonder how many teams are still friends or together.
Oh.
Anyway, grand final.
Jake and Al and you and me, let's go for it.
Oh, yeah. I reckon you'd be hard-pressed getting Jake to do it again.
Well, he's travelling the world on cruise ships, bless his soul. All right, let's talk about the grand final. And you know what? Straight into it, there's only 4 courses. We did 5 courses, I'm just saying.
But they did 25 plates, we did 20.
Oh, well, fair enough.
100
plates, right?
Yeah. But extra courses, 5 extra plates is nothing compared to an extra dish.
Correct, yeah. All right, so Kate and Mary, let's talk about their complete menu. Scampi and carpaccio?
Yeah.
I thought looked really great.
It plated well. She left a whole tray of scampi. That's production stitch.
Do you reckon?
100%. 100%. How can you not know that? That's like... Yeah, they've gone out of the room or something and they've misplaced another... Got
rid of the tray, put it back on.
100%.
Yeah, okay. So they go into the second course of crispy skin salmon with Thai sauce, right? I was just like, whoa, lady, you're going to cook 25 crispy skin salmons for people? That's not easy. And then she just starts pan frying them and I was like, and chuck them all in the oven at least. But
Yeah, it's because Emmy loves salmon, and I chuck hers in the oven.
And you get crispy skin.
I salt the skin, and I spray it with canola spray, and I blast the oven to 250, and I get crispy skin every time. So.
Okay, and then so I feel as though that kind of dish looked a little bit messy. Their flatbread didn't look that great. They were kind of slopping it and throwing it on a plate.
Yeah.
And from that point, I was like, oh, these guys have let this go already. You know, when you can kind of predict the show.
Demise, yeah. Also, on the whole building, I just want to let everyone know that the outside filming of the building is not actually the inside.
They film a building, don't they?
They film a building. And remember when we did it and we had to do the walk-ups?
That's right, and go through the turnstile.
Go through the turnstile, and when you got through this turnstile, there was literally 1.5 meters of room. So we all going through this turnstile, and then we're all backed up against each other, going like this, and waiting for them to go. Okay, you can come back out now. It was just hectic. So and then. Yeah, then they got the outside of the building, it's all lit up, and then you go on the inside and it's all lit up and it looks like the outside, but it's two totally different buildings.
Yep.
Studios is a studio.
Yes.
Soundproof, lit up, you've got the sound system that communicate with all the producers, all that sort of stuff. Like, it's just a whole nother kettle of fish.
You don't have to stop when you're, like, the flight path of Sydney Airport.
No.
It's soundproof.
Legit.
So their main was lamb with grains, which is pearl barley, and salsa verde. That seems like a little bit like what we did in our grand final. We did lamb and pearl barley and salsa verde.
But I think that's where they let themselves down, was they pulled on the lamb cutlets.
No.
Mate, I'd have been shank or shoulder.
Yeah.
Something you could chuck in the oven, first up, forget about it. Like, imagine a lamb shank on that, like with the marrow and...
But I think she had a little bit of a brain fart. Like
I put that to production too. She wanted to do the whole racks, but she only had enough.
So you think they second questioned it?
No, I reckon the food team have just given them 2 whole racks and then all the little cutlets and told them to deal with it.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? Like they've just made it really hard for them.
But they
it just
also
seemed like there was just heaps of stuff that was out of their control.
Yeah, perhaps. But they also said that with lamb neck, and when they plated their main, they didn't get their dessert in. That was like a main thing. So I liked their dessert. Their main course, they pulled off eventually. I think it looked okay. I think the judges liked it. But I think it was just too stressful, and you saw it on the plate, too stressful, too messy for their main. But then their lemon tart with the labna. They had like thyme labna with a lemon tart. I feel it's like good combo, and candied lemon. So they were a bit stressed out about getting their dessert because they only had a short time frame to cook it. But I think it was Curtis told them to put it on the grill to get it cooked. Otherwise, you ain't going to slice it. It was just going to run everywhere. But I thought that was a really beautiful dessert to finish with, considering their whole craziness of the other 3 courses.
Yeah, see, I think that your grand final dessert has to be the pinnacle, the best thing you've ever cooked in your life.
Yeah.
Like, it is your last thing. It's what you're going to be remembered by.
Yeah.
Because I still to this day believe that if we didn't do the dessert we did with that choc de lis and the peppermint and, you know, you did that candy work and all that sort of stuff, we wouldn't have won that. That's what got us over the line, was that dessert.
Oh, I think it was a bit of everything, but... Yeah,
but it was like it's all everyone spoke about was that dessert. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, so Janelle and Mons, let's talk about their complete grand final menu. They did kebab, and Mons, like you said, is a workhorse. Like him chopping those herbs, I love how they work together really well. Bread looks great, you know, and then they go into the prawn katifi.
What about the elephant in the room?
What elephant?
Janelle hasn't even met Mons' family. You know what I mean? Hey, and like she's barking orders. Like,
yeah.
Imagine that. Like, imagine what Mons' mum's thinking. Like, yeah.
He can hold his own. So their bread looks good. And so I thought their very first dish, again, looked tasty. Everything just looked tasty, and they ticked every single box, got that done properly. By that one, I thought that, and the judges did this, they said that Mons and Janelle are ahead of this. We never got a heads up going who's ahead, who's not. No. So I thought that was a bit strange. But then their second course was katifi wraps prawns with halloumi and watermelon. Like, that just ticks all the boxes. Beautiful.
It does. But I get cold halloumis are horrible.
I don't mind it. They should have
been
feta.
a last minute thing. Yeah, feta maybe. But also too, how good are they getting pre-deveined and peeled prawns?
No, Mons did them.
Did he peel all them?
He got the poo vein out.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I didn't see. Well, how come I never seen that?
Oh, no, maybe you I don't know.
I don't know.
No, you definitely do it. But this series, I've seen no deep fries. Everyone has to put oil in a pan and get the, like, usually you can just set your fryer at 170, we're good to go. But this is like, they had to monitor their oil. So that was interesting. And I feel like their prawn dish looks great. Again, like lots of different techniques and lots of different flavours going on. Main course, beef and okra stew. Yeah. Like, this is Monza's.
Yeah, I'm tapping out on this. I don't do okra.
You don't?
It's that weird texture, hey?
It's a little bit, but I feel like they did that justice. It looks really great. They used brisket. The judges were like, oh no, don't use brisket. Talking it up. But again, I feel like their plating looked really good. They did pickle, like pickled vegetables, and they did a sauce. Again, I feel like third course, they were already in front. And then to finish it off, their dessert was baklava. I saw her doing this baklava, and like she was rolling it and then squishing it. And I'm like, oh, that looks stunning. Like, it looks amazing where they just pull it off the rod and squish it all up, and the candied walnuts and everything. Their dessert looked amazing. Yeah. And like those 4 dishes of theirs, tick, 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 tick. I knew before it was even announced that they had won. Yeah. So, again, obviously, the winners of the MKR Champions of 2022 is Janelle and Mons. Congratulations. I felt like it was just kind of finish the episode and move straight on to a Farmers Wants a Wife promo.
Yeah, 100%.
And I was like, oh, is that it? There was no...
So are we going to recap on the Farmer Wants a Wife, or...? No.
I don't know. Maybe we should give it a rest.
I'm not. So congratulations to Nell and Mons. And it was lovely... Last night, you messaged them saying congratulations, and they messaged back saying thank you very much, means the world, so that's lovely. It's one of those things, I guarantee you if we were to message any of the teams, current, old, they'd always respond. Yeah. Because it's just that little group that we've got that we go through this certain thing that not a lot of people get to experience, and it's an amazing adventure if you want it to be. Yeah. Yeah, I think all in all, I think it was a tester for... Channel 7, and I think it was successful, and I can't wait to see it next year. And hopefully we might be part of it.
Oh, well, I'll just start getting onto that now.
Yeah, start sending the emails.
So, remember us? We didn't even have time. That was a big chat today. We had a lot to fill in, and I think we need, next week we'll do a cooking tip. We'll do some content. You're doing some content today. Cool. So we'll talk about some beautiful recipes, and I can share something over the weekend as well.
And we might get Reese on the blower too.
Yeah, Reese from Sunpork. Yep. Yeah, cool. I think we'll
have a chat about Bacon Fest.
I think a recap.
Yeah, he would love that. Yeah. Because he loved it.
Yeah, I had the best time. It was the best, honestly, the best festival I've been to ever.
I still can't stop talking about it. Everyone I talk to. Oh, how you been? You been busy? Yeah, maybe. Oh, Bacon Fest. Like it was 2 weeks ago.
You're still on the Bacon Fest hype?
Yeah, I am.
Nice.
I've still got plenty of bacon in the fridge too.
Yeah. Well, that was a great chat. Great chat with Pete and Alice as well. Yeah, lovely. So great. MKR is all over. So next week we'll just chat about us and what's going on, and talk to Reese from Sunpork, and we'll go from there.
Catch you soon. Peace out. It's my thing.